Hey guys, so it is December the 2nd and that means it's the second day of our Christmas Advent Challenge. Now yesterday someone asked me about Christmas and I just want to put out there, I'm not really into the commercialism of Christmas, but I love Christmas and I love the time of year because it seems that people are just that little bit more loving and giving, at least in Europe, and I presume it's the same in America, etc. at this time of year where the season is celebrated. I think that's beneficial, and if people are feeling more loving for whatever reason it is at that magical time of the year, then let it do some good for the world. And I have many children in a file, and I feel responsible for those children because they can't get into school, and one of their only hopes is Share Tanzania, and I'm at the head of that. So we hope that we can create within the Advent Challenge 24 children who have full-time education and very much need it. And that's just basically the whole point of the Advent Challenge. It's just an opportunity to do something different with Christmas. Instead of the consumerist, instead of opening a door and getting a chocolate every day, a child gets education to achieve their dreams in life. And these are children who otherwise are kind of destined, a lot of them, for things like child labour, which is just not acceptable. So the first child I want to introduce you to is 4 years old. His name is Abdul. Now, Abdul is a little different because he has hydrocephalus. Now, it's not severe hydrocephalus. Some of you will know 4 of the children who are in our care have hydrocephalus. Now, this means that the cerebrospinal fluid collects on your brain and your head swells and basically keeps swelling. And you need to have an operation to put a drain in here so you can drain the fluid off and stop it from collecting on the brain as it does. A lot of the time, I never see adults with hydrocephalus is the best way I can put that, but I do see young adults from time to time with hydrocephalus, and I admire them because they're just pushing out life despite the difficulty of having constant headaches and pressure against their brain. They're just true warriors and they just accept what they are as an original creation and they get on with it. But unfortunately it's a very difficult disease if not treated, and most children do die in East Africa from it. Abdul's parents are struggling. They've been labouring all of their lives. The father is a hard-working man. He just can't get what he needs to help his family, his children, his wife. And they're not educated. So when people are not educated, the idea of family planning is not present. And I know a lot of people wonder about that, and thus we add the family planning. But there is, in the system, not really any family planning in Tanzania, which is why when you're uneducated, you can end up with too many children. And it's nobody's fault, it's just the fact that the world allowed countries to develop in the way that other parts of the world told them to develop, i.e. Africa was told to develop in the way that we asked them to, we being the Western nations and the United States, etc. And now China as well. The continent developed in the shadow of those other developed nations. And because it developed in the shadow of those other developed nations, you end up with lots of people who can't access education, etc., which is not okay. The result of that is you end up with people who can't afford to pay for their children, and also you end up with people who have no blame for that either. It's just why I'm saying that. Abdul will be getting support, and he'll have a bit of a battle on his hands because we'll be providing him with the medical care he requires. The operation we'll pay for as well, and thankfully he's only mild hydrocephalus, so at the moment it's not life-threatening for him. Whilst we're doing that, however, he wants to go to school, and he's been at the nursery. For those of you who know, we have a nursery. It's not in Featherstale, but there's a nursery in the village which the church built, and we pay for nearly every child in there. So it's kind of like ours and the church's nursery. He's just finished, he needs to go to school. We're hoping somebody can sponsor Abdul's education and give him that start in life so he can get out in the world he can start pushing towards achieving his dreams, and his parents can have a weight off as well, because the little one gets to be with his friends and those who manage to pay for their school fees, of course, and gets a chance to expand his horizons and study for, hopefully, you never know with the advances in medical science, what could be a long and happy life with all of the trimmings that go with that family and so on. So we are hoping that we can find a sponsor for little Abdul, and that will support his education, nutritional support, and it will provide him with the medical care he needs, which will incorporate basic medical care. Your sponsorship always provides medical care for children, where they can go to the doctor if they've got a headache, a sniffle, malaria, whatever, typhoid, which happens so often where we are. So that covers that side of things, and of course the other very expensive medical care. You know, for instance, I've just had to pay $3,000 for an operation for one child. Then that's covered by the other money that we need to fundraise from other areas to help Abdul. So that is day 2 of our Advent Challenge, and I hope that somebody out there can at least share the video if you can do nothing else, and share little Abdul's story. And I very much hope that someone out there in the world will be able to reach out and support Abdul with what he's doing. For those of you who want to understand a little extra about the Advent Challenge, we have thousands of children on file, so that if, for instance, we post a child every day and 3 people sign up to sponsor every single day, then it's not that we're tricking anyone. We don't assign the same child to 3 people. The first person to sign up gets the child from the Advent Challenge, but then after that, the second and third person that might sign up, then we will assign you a different child, but a child who's in equally as much need. And I hope that's okay with you all, and I just wanted to explain that so you're aware of it. So, Merry Christmas, enjoy your Advent, and I will remain praying and hoping that we can get more than 24 children sponsored this Christmas Advent. I'd love to get 100 sponsored. Who knows? We might be big enough to do that. I'm just not quite sure. But either way. And also, don't remember, you can do this as a Christmas gift. If you want to do it as a Christmas gift, send me an email on my name, johnstjulian@sharetanzania.com, and we'll make arrangements for that. Because what will happen is you buy a gift certificate from the website, and then the gift certificate is sent out to yourself, and then you can present that with the welcome pack with Abdul's details and present it as a gift for someone, which I think puts a nice spin on consumerist Christmas. When someone can wake up one morning and instead of another pair of socks and a tin of deodorant, they know that they've maybe paid for school meals for a child for a year with their Christmas. And I think that's probably of more value to everybody's soul and heart than an extra pair of socks. For all we do all need cozy Christmas socks like the ones I'm wearing. There's only so many that we do need. So I love you all. Merry Christmas.